What's up, YouTube? So today we're going to be finally replacing the halogen bulbs with the HIDs and with LED bulbs for the bright lights. So I went with HID lights for now. We'll see how I like them, or we may also try LEDs in the future, but I went with HIDs for now for the low beam lights, which are H11, and then I went with LED bulbs for my high beam lights, which are 9005s. I went with 35 watt, 5500K, and then for the LEDs, they're Sabre, they're 40 watts. DDM Tuning said that these are their most popular and their most tried and true. So these ones are a pure white color. So with the 55 watt, with the HIDs, will very closely match those, because you know the 4RUNNER can run both at the same time. I also got the headlight decoder. I don't think I'm going to need this because the canvas set came with the decoder on it already, so I may be returning that. It was 20 bucks, so I'll definitely be returning that if I don't need it. Set right here cost $140 ish, like 150 maybe. Anyways, because the canvas ones, they were 70, the LEDs were like 75. So, and these are super nice, high quality LEDs. You have the fan, the driver, and everything, and they're black also, which looks super sweet. I'm not dogging other companies, but you know, for the same quality or looking of lights, you know, people are charging anywhere from 200 to 3. I mean, HIDs are not that new. They're older technology, which I do understand. That's why people don't like them. But then again, it's tried and true, you know. So the LEDs are just now getting to that point where they're awesome. So that's why I went with those for the bright lights. Plus, I also, if I need a flicker at someone, you know, on the road, it's not going to take a moment to kind of power up like HIDs do. The canvas ones should power up quickly. However, LED lights is boom, right away. So that's why I went with those definitely for the bright lights. So here's your bright. All you got to do is twist the bulb out. Kind of give it a little wiggle. There's your bright. So all you do is just put the tab down, pops off. Now your projectors for your low beam lights, it's in this housing right here. So this is the housing that you're going to be drilling or cutting, or if you want to run it just without the housing, but just be warned that if you do that, then all the moisture overnight or whatever is going to set in here, and plus you could see the mud and everything that I have back up in here. So you see that mud on there, so that mud could potentially get inside your housing. So all you're going to do is just twist. It should pop out like so. And then that's your actual bulb. So the reason you're going to need to drill is because when you have your bulb out and you see the tab right there, pop it off, your HID is actually going to plug into that, into the ballast, and then the HID bulb is going to go into your typical housing, which will then in turn need the wire to run out into the ballast that you're going to hide somewhere in your engine bay. So just a small little hole we're going to have to do. So now that the bulbs are out, let's go ahead and prepare our dust cover for it, and then we'll put the other bulbs back in. Right, so basically you're going to drill through here to make sure that the ballast connectors will fit through. Then that way this little grommet can then sit in here and reseal it all back up. Now, it doesn't matter really what you use, but this right here that I got, this is more for like wood, cutting out holes in wood. It fits perfectly. So they definitely get some like sandpaper and clean up around it. So now, even if you decide to do LEDs because you don't want to drill this hole, guess what? You still have to, because the LED still has to go through the same size hole to connect. You just take it, put these right back through. So there you go. Now I just put electrical tape on for overkill. You obviously don't need this much, or any really, because it has a good seal, but I just did it just in case. So now that this one's done, go ahead and do the other one, and then we'll start to install everything. Line up the prongs and just twist. Nice and tight. Then what you're going to do is that one that you fed through, you're going to plug it in to your stock housing right here. Now, these may be reverse polarity, so you obviously want to turn on your headlights first before you close it all up. So that's in. So now if that's good right there, then we'll just leave it and put the cover back on. But now, just to make sure that everything works, we're going to plug it into the ballast. So it's reverse polarity, so I just turned it on and it's not on. So that would have sucked if you had everything buttoned up and did everything. So that's always why you try. So we'll go ahead and flip it around. So it can go either way because some vehicles are different. So that's how they make these harnesses. Alright, it's plugged in. Let's try it now. There we go. And there's both of them on. So now we'll go ahead and do the brights. Super clean line all the way across. The toolbox kind of ruins it a little bit, but very clean line all the way across. So the driver's side is just like the passenger side. However, I didn't film just because this battery tray is kind of in the way. So it's really hard to get your fingers down in there, but just go ahead and just try to feel it out, and you know, it should be fine. But you shouldn't have to take the battery out. I didn't take it out, so it should be good. So now that we know that it works, just go ahead and set all your stuff in there. Go ahead and pull your extra slack through for your wires. There you go, all nice and secure. So there's like this tab down here at the very bottom that has to line up at the bottom, and just kind of takes some finagling to get it on, but man, that's nice and secure now. So don't worry about the wires. We can run all those later and make sure they're all tucked up under some stuff and nice and secure. And then I'm also going to be doing some electrical tape around these connectors. They're weatherproof, but again, why not take the extra precaution to, you know, keep your stuff looking good and working good. Alright, so now the LED bulb is pretty much the same concept. So you just take your stock harness, take your LED, shove that in. Then you're going to take your bulb, line it up. So that's it for the LED bulb, just these two little things. Go ahead and insert it into the housing. Go ahead and turn it on, make sure it works. Oh boy. So that's just the one bright light. I may have to aim that down a little bit, so we'll let the HIDs warm up. So on camera I'm noticing that this is looking very, very blue, but in person it is very white and it matches almost perfectly. So now that you're done, you have a crap ton of wires. Now don't be that person and just shove it down up in there and just let them bounce and sit there, because if you do that, then obviously the crap's going to break. So I'm going to find a good spot to route all these wires and have these ballasts sit properly. I also have some double-sided 3M tape that I'm going to use to secure the ballast down. You can drill these in, but I'm not going to drill them into my frame because then it's still metal on metal. So I'm going to use the double-sided 3M tape to kind of absorb some of that shock. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you guys where I routed it. Alright, so I think I'm going to hide everything up in here. So you just pull back this. You're going to obviously have to do more than that, but then right here you pop this tab up, and then these tabs back up in here. You just slide it, this plastic backwards, and then there's one more in the back, and then you could just lift it up. You can keep peeling it back if you want. Be very careful with your paint. You could keep peeling it back if you want, but I figure just getting it out of the way, clean up that whole area, is a lot easier to do it. Alright, so it's all hidden now, so that's what this side looks like. Really all you could see is the cord going up into the ballast. I left the other side off to have it zip tied through that frame rail right there. There's a little hole. And then we hid the LED ballast back behind the washer fluid. You can see it right there, straight ahead. And then, so this is what it looks like basically on that side, but over here. So we stacked with the ballast, we stacked them on top, used double-sided tape. You can use Velcro as well, it doesn't matter, but I just use double-sided tape, so that's how it looks. And then we have it zip tied right through there, so it's basically the same exact on each side. So just put some tape around where the wire is so it doesn't chafe and everything, and then we put that guy right down there. And then on this side we have that one right there for the LED. So it looks very, very clean. You don't have crap hanging out all over the place, so that's definitely where I would stack it. And then just make sure all your wires aren't, you know, tight or anything. So and there's all 4 of them on. Freaking bright. Jeez. And here it is with this back on. I took this off just in case I wanted to put it in here, but there was really no spots for it. So really all you can see is that wire right there, and then just a couple wires on each side. That wire and that wire. So if you guys enjoyed this, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I hope it was informational for you. Super simple install. I love them. I mean, it's so much better than the halogens that were on it. I went with DDM tuning because I had them in my old Silverado. Had it for like 4 years in it, and it was perfectly fine. So there are great brands out there. I'll link Xenon Depot down in the description. I'll link what I got from DDM tuning. And then there's a couple other slim LEDs. I'll put them in there just so you guys can pick what you want. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. So we're going to cut now. I did some before driving and then some after driving. So hopefully the GoPro comes out good with that. I mean, it's a GoPro, but hopefully that low light was good for it. And you guys can really see the difference between the two. All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye.